Students, we are continuing now with the second part, that is properties of proportion. Now in properties of proportion, you have different properties. There are 5 different properties. One is known as invertendo. Invertendo is as good as you are taking reciprocal of both the sides of equal to. So if you are given A upon B is C upon D, then you can write the reciprocal of both the sides and write it as B upon A is equal to D upon C. Now this property in ratios is given a special name. It is given the name called invertendo. So if you are using this, then side you have to write the reason by invertendo, or you have to write like this: by invertendo you have B upon A is equal to D upon C. Now the next property, second property that you will be learning is alternando. In alternando, you can swap places like this. If you are given A upon B is C upon D, you can swap the places like this and write A instead of B, B and C you can alternate. So you can write A upon C is equal to B upon D. That is meant by alternando. You could also have swapped A and B. Doesn't make a difference. You could have written D upon B is equal to C upon A. That is also fine. So basically what you are doing, this means AD is equal to BC. So you are swapping either B and C, or you can swap A and D. So that is known as alternando. Now when we do the sums, you will get used to this and what is to be used where. Now componendo, same, A upon B is C upon D, this is given. It is given if A upon B is C upon D, then by componendo, A plus B upon the denominator remains the same is equal to C plus D upon the denominator will remain same. So you have, let's say an example, this is an obvious example, this is actually not any sum. This is just to make you understand that the ratios remain equal even after doing a componendo. 2 upon 4 is 1 upon 2. It's obvious, this is the basic form. 2 upon 4 is 1 upon 2. So if you do a componendo, what happens? It becomes 2 plus 4, denominator remains the same. So 2 plus 4 upon 4 is 6 upon 4. And the other side it will become 1 plus 2 upon denominator 2. So 3 upon 2. So you find that the ratios remain equal. This is also 3 upon 2, that is also 3 upon 2. So what we did is basic componendo. So componendo is numerator plus denominator upon denominator is equal to other side numerator plus denominator upon denominator. Now same way you have something known as dividendo. In dividendo, you are given A upon B is C upon D, then A upon A minus B is C upon C minus D. So that is what is meant by dividendo. So 2 upon 4 is 1 upon 2. So 2 upon 2 minus 4 is equal to 1 upon numerator 1 minus the denominator, that is 2. So 2 upon minus 2 is 1 upon minus 1. So here also you will see that the ratio is 1 upon minus 1. That is also the same even after we have done this dividendo. So please understand what is componendo and what is dividendo. Usually these two are done together. So next, that is fifth, we will see what is componendo and dividendo together. And that is what is generally used in most of the sums which come in the exam. So we will see the next frame, that is point number 5, in which we are using componendo and dividendo together. You have to be very clear with these properties. And of course, when you do the sums, you will know how to apply these properties. So now, if you are using componendo and dividendo together, if you are given A upon B is C upon D, then by using componendo and dividendo together, it becomes A plus B upon A minus B equal to C plus D upon C minus D. So this is exactly what is normally used in most of the sums in our exams. So now for example, if you have 3 by 2, 3 by 2 is the same as 9 by 6 because they are equal, the equal to sign is there. Now let's use componendo and dividendo together and see whether the ratio remains equal. So you will get 3 plus 2 upon 3 minus 2 by componendo and dividendo. Same way on the other side, it will be 9 plus 6 upon 9 minus 6. So it becomes 5 upon 1 and this becomes 15 upon 3. So you see that it's the same ratio. So the equality is maintained even after you're using componendo and dividendo. So these are the properties which we have to use. Now I am going to page 210, question 14. Such a sum will never be asked in the board. It is just to reinforce your idea of what is invertendo, alternando, componendo, dividendo, and using componendo, dividendo together. So you are given a upon b is 7 upon 2. You are asked to use invertendo and find what it is. So both of them you would be inverting and you would be writing b upon a is 5 upon 7. Instead of 7 upon 5, it became 5 upon 7. Then you have alternando. You can swap the places of 7 and b. So you can write a upon 7 is b upon 5. Then you have componendo. Componendo is 8 plus b upon b. So it will be 7 plus 5 upon 5. So that is 12 upon 5. So this is the relation you get after you do componendo alone. Now if you do dividendo, a upon a minus b, 7 upon 7 minus 5. So a upon a minus b is 7 upon 2. By componendo and dividendo both together. So if you are using componendo, dividendo together, it will be a plus b upon a minus b. 7 plus 5 upon 7 minus 5. So it will be 12 upon 2, that is 6 upon 1. So this is how you do the various properties, all the 5 properties of componendo, dividendo. Of course, as I told you, this question will not be asked in the board exam because you have certain other questions based on which that will be asked. So few of them we will do now in the video and the rest we will do it in the Zoom sessions. So now question 15.1. Now in question 15.1 you are given x upon y is 3 upon 5 and you are asked to find what is 2x plus 3y upon 3y. So looking at this, you should know what x should be multiplied with and y should be multiplied with. First of all, in 10th standard there is only one chapter where you are asked to find a ratio. So you should know x from ratios chapter, and this is nothing to do with continued proportion or proportion. So you have to use the properties of proportion. That is either invertendo, componendo, alternando, dividendo, those things. So now first, to use any componendo or anything, you have to make this 2x and 3y. So I multiply both the sides with 2 by 3. So that your x will become 2x and y will become 3x. Obviously, when I multiply the left hand side with 2 by 3, I have to multiply the right hand side also with 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 into 3 by 5, 3 and 3 gets cancelled, it will remain as 2 by 5. So 2x upon 3y is 2 by 5. But I don't need 2x upon 3y alone. I need 2x plus 3y upon 3y. So now if you look at this and what properties of proportion you have just done, you will know that you need to use a componendo alone. So if you use a componendo alone here, it will become 2x plus 3y upon 3y is equal to 2 plus 5 upon 5. So your answer 2x plus 3y upon 3y will be 7 upon 5. So that is how you will solve this sum, the first one. Some sums which I am not doing here, I am doing it on Zoom. So question 15 too, I will do it on Zoom. Now question 16, a typical sum. It looks very lengthy. There are 4 terms on the numerator and denominator on the left hand side and 4 terms on the numerator and denominator on the right hand side. First observation which you need to carefully make is the terms are same. A का coefficient is 1, both numerator and denominator. B is 2, C is 3 and D is 6. That's the coefficient. Only there is some sign difference in some of the terms. So the coefficients are the same, only B and C has different sign. Instead of plus in the numerator, it is minus in the denominator. When you see such an observation, immediately it should strike to you that to make this smaller, this ratio, to be simplifying it, you need to use a componendo and dividendo together, so that some of the things will get cancelled and you will get a smaller ratio. Same thing on the right hand side. Everything is the same except for some of the sign. The coefficients are different for few of the terms. So now when you do a componendo dividendo, this is your LHS, numerator plus denominator, so numerator as it is, plus the entire denominator written as it is, upon the numerator minus the denominator. So numerator as it is written here, minus the entire denominator in bracket. Same thing we do on the right hand side. So it is numerator plus denominator. The same numerator is written here, plus this denominator is written here, upon the same numerator of minus the entire denominator in bracket. So when you do this, what will happen? In the numerator, 2b and minus 2b will cancel, 3c and minus 3c will cancel, and in the denominator, because it is minus, a minus a will cancel, then 6d and minus 6d will cancel because there is a minus sign here. Now 2b will get added to 2b, it will become 4b, and 3c minus of minus 3c is plus 3c, so it will become 6c. And on the other side, in this, when you add it, minus 2b plus 2b will get cancelled, 3c and minus 3c will get cancelled. So here in the numerator, these two terms are getting cut. So you are left with 2a minus 12d. And down, a minus a will go, and 6d minus 6d and plus 6d will go. So those two terms will go. So you are left with 2b minus of minus will become plus. So it will become 4b. And this again will become minus 3c minus 3c. So minus 6c. So now when you look at this, you look here. This is A, B, B, C. You can't do any componendo dividendo, it doesn't make sense. Now this is A, D, B, C. Again you can do componendo dividendo, it doesn't make any sense. Because you will not be able to reduce it and simplify it to less number of terms. Here there were 4 terms, here there are 2 terms. Now you are making the ratio smaller and smaller, the number of terms. So now you have to make it 1 term on numerator and 1 term on denominator. So first thing you have to know is, you have to do an alternando, so that is A and D come on the same side as the numerators A and D. And B and C will be pushed there with the B and C. So after I pair it in the correct order, so by doing an alternando, I have shifted 2a minus 12d here, and 4b plus 3c has gone there. So after I do this, by now if you see, same terms, only sign difference. Same terms, only sign difference. So that gets reduced by using a componendo and dividendo together. So when you use a componendo and dividendo together, now it will be numerator plus the denominator, numerator minus the entire denominator in bracket, numerator plus the denominator, numerator minus the denominator. So this becomes 4a 12 and 12a will get cancelled. Denominator 2a gets cancelled, you are left with 24d. Now here 6c and minus 6c will get cancelled, you will get 8b. And denominator 4b and minus 4b will get cancelled, you will get 12c. So now you have got it in the most basic form. But look at the answer what you require. You need a upon 2b. So once again you have to do an alternando and bring this 8b down below 4a, and 24d will go on top about 12c. So that when you simplify, 4 and 8 goes 2 times, 12 2s are 24. So you will get a upon 2b is 2d upon c. This is what had to be proved. So such a big sum in which there were 4 terms on numerator and denominator has been made into a very small basic ratio, that is a upon 2b is equal to 2d upon c. So this is how basic componendo dividendo sums are solved. Now look at the 17th sum. You are given 5a plus 6b upon 5a minus 6b is 5 by 1, and you are asked to find a is to b. So as soon as you look at this, you know that the coefficients are same and thus there is a difference in sign. So as I told you, you have to use componendo dividendo. So this becomes 5a plus 6b, the numerator, plus denominator, numerator minus, when you do minus of the denominator, both the signs will change. It will become minus 5a and minus of minus will become plus 6b. So now this becomes 12b, the numerator becomes 10a, and there it is 6 upon 4. So when you reduce this, this will become 5 upon 6. So you are asked to find what is a upon b. So you just cross multiply a upon b, you leave it here, 6 goes on top and 5 comes down. So then when you simplify it, you will get the ratio as 9 is to 5. So a is to b is 9 is to 5. So this basically, when you look at it itself, you will come to know that the coefficients are same, there is just a difference in sign, so you have to use componendo dividendo. Now next, you are given the reverse. You are given a upon b is 9 upon 5, and you are asked to find what is 5a plus 6b upon 5a minus 6b. So now you will go reverse. You need 5a and 6b, so multiply by 5 by 6. So when you multiply by 5 by 6, you can't multiply only LHS, you have to multiply both sides. So 5a upon 6b will become 5 upon 6 into 9 by 5. So that gets reduced to 3 by 2 because 5 and 5 cancels. So then you need 5a plus 6b upon 5a minus 6b. So just do a componendo dividendo. So it will become 5a plus 6b upon 5a minus 6b. The other side also you have to do it. So it will become 3 plus 2 upon 3 minus 2. So the final answer will be 5 upon 1, which was from where you started the sum. So this is how you solve the 17th part 1 and part 2. Now as I told you, some of the sums 18, 19 we will be doing it on Zoom. So now I am going to the 20th sum, which is another important sum. Again, when you look at it immediately, see in the question paper, this is one of the simplest questions, because when you look at it, everything is same, only there is a difference in sign. So you use componendo dividendo. So that becomes very simple to remember. So numerator plus the denominator as it is upon numerator minus the denominator. That side also you have to do the same thing. So it will be 4 plus 1 numerator plus denominator upon numerator minus denominator. So in the numerator, these two terms, this and this gets cancelled. So you are left with root 5x, under root of 5x plus under root of 5x. So that is 2 times under root 5x. And in the denominator, these two terms get cancelled. So you are left with 2 times under root of 2x minus 1. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled and there it is 5 upon 3. So now, since square root is there and now there is no point doing a componendo dividendo. Since square root is there, we get rid of the square roots by doing square of both the sides. You can't do one side, you have to do square of both the sides. So it will become 5x upon 2x minus 1, and this is 25 upon 9. So then just cross multiply and solve, you will get the answer of x. So you get 45x is 50x minus 25. So for 45x shifted there, so it becomes 50x minus 45x is equal to 25. So 5x is equal to 25, or x is equal to 25 by 5, that is 5. So your answer, you are asked what is x, that is 5. Mark this sum as very important. Usually something as simple as this come, but even this is simple only if you have practiced it and revised it. Otherwise you may forget what to do. So we continue with this. This is question 22 on page 211. You are given p is equal to 4xy upon x plus y. Now see, you have to have a look at the result what you want finally. You need p plus 2x upon p minus 2x. So this is some operation after you did componendo and dividendo. And the second term that you require is p plus 2y upon p minus 2y, which again looks like a componendo dividendo. So first the given expression has to be split, and this 4xy has to be written as 2x into 2y. This is 4xy. Denominator as it is. Why did we write it like this? So that first we will get 2x below p. When I get 2x below p, it becomes p upon 2x. That will be 2y upon x plus y, that is remaining. So now once I have written the expression like this, if I do a componendo and dividendo on both the sides, then I will get p plus 2x upon p minus 2x. So that is why I have taken this by componendo and dividendo as p plus 2x upon p minus 2x. And on the right hand side I am writing 2y plus x plus y. And on the left hand side I am writing, and here I am writing in the denominator 2y minus of the entire denominator. So it becomes minus x minus y. So therefore this becomes 3y plus x, and denominator becomes y minus x. So this is one of the part of the answer which you require. Now the same thing you have to do, instead of p by 2x, you have to get p by 2y. So from equation 1, if you write 2y down below, you can write p upon 2y as 2x upon x plus y. You are left with 2x upon x plus y. So this you have got from this expression. You have got 2y down, so you are left with 2x upon x plus y. Now why did I do this? Because the second part of the left hand side that I need in the final expression is a componendo and dividendo of this step. So when I do a componendo and dividendo of this step, I get numerator plus denominator upon numerator minus denominator. So p plus 2y upon p minus 2y, and here I will get 2x plus x plus y, and down I will get 2x minus of the entire denominator, so minus x minus y. So p plus 2y upon p minus 2y, when I add it, it becomes 3x plus y, and denominator becomes x minus y. Now I know that I have to add this and this, because that is my left hand side of the final answer that I need. So adding the corresponding sides of equation 3 and 4, I will get p plus 2x upon p minus 2x plus p plus 2y upon p minus 2y is this 3y plus x upon y minus x plus 3x plus y upon x minus y. So now if I look at the right hand side, the bases are almost the same. I can take a minus sign out here and write this as y minus x. I can change it. If I take minus, then it will become minus x plus y. So I can write it as y minus x. So from this, I will write y minus x in the denominator 3y plus x minus 3x plus y. And the bracket is there, so it becomes minus 3x minus y. So therefore, y minus x is the denominator and the numerator will be, this will become 2y minus 2x. 2y minus 2x upon y minus x. So 2 can be taken common out and you will write y minus x. So that gets cut. So it becomes 2. So the final answer there is 2. So that is how you do this sum. Mark it important. There is a very similar homework sum out there on the next page, which is exactly like this itself you have to solve. That we will solve in Zoom. So some of the sums we will be solving in Zoom. Please copy this in your notebook and write it down. So page 211, classwork sum number 25. You are given the sum, this is the sum. Now when you get this sum, you have to mark this sum as important because in this sum you are going to use a formula which you learned in 9th standard in expansion, that is the cube formula. So you should first understand that you have to shift the positions and you have to shift only x plus 1 here on top and x minus 1 you are bringing the bracket down and you are putting the brackets. Now this is actually the expansion of x cube plus 1 cube and denominator is the expansion of x cube minus 1 cube. So we are writing the formula and explaining that a cube plus b cube is a plus b plus in bracket a squared plus b squared minus ab. So therefore we have used this as x cube plus 1 cube and denominator is x cube minus 1 cube because a cube minus b cube is a minus b, a squared plus b squared plus ab. So from this we can get this 1 cube is 1, so we write it as x cube plus 1 upon x cube minus 1 is 14 by 13. Now once we have reduced this sum in this form, then using a componendo dividendo is very simple because you have the same terms and only the sign of the coefficient of 1 is different. So when you use componendo dividendo, it will be numerator plus the denominator upon numerator minus the denominator. So when you do minus denominator, it will become minus x cube plus 1. So from this, the numerator becomes 2x cube and denominator becomes 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled, only x cube remains. On the other side, it will be 14 plus 13 and denominator will be 14 minus 13. So it becomes 2x cube upon 2 is 27 by 1. Or in other words, 2 gets cancelled, so x cube is equal to 27. So x is third root or cube root of 27, which is 3. That's the answer. Here you have found x. Now 29th sum, actually when you see the sum, you should immediately come to know that say it is not any component or dividend or nothing, you can't use. Why? Because here you have 3a, here it is not 3a, it is 5a. So if you use a component or dividend, it can only be used somewhere here where the coefficients of x and the other term is the same. Here it is not. Same way on numerator it is 2b and denominator is 3b. So here you can't use component or dividendo. So in this sort of a sum, and they have not asked you to find a or individually b. They have asked you to find the ratio of a upon b. So it is just basic cross multiplication. So nothing to be confused there. If you just cross multiply and open the bracket, you will get 87a plus 58b is 90a plus 54b. So when you rearrange the terms in terms of all the a terms there and b terms here, you get 4b, 58 minus 54, 58 minus this 54b and 98 minus 87a. So then in that case you will get 3a is equal to 4b or 4 upon 3 is a upon b. So a is to b is 4 is to 3. So that is how you would do this sum. So sometimes you have to just think a bit and see that this is not componendo dividendo, it is just a cross multiplication, and then you are finding the ratio A is to B. Now all the remaining classwork sum and some of the homework sums I'll be doing individually in your batches with the Zoom session. But before that, please go through all this and write this down in your notebooks. Bye, take care.